Pregame.com.
Friday night NBA action, Dallas Mavericks at Portland. It's not a marquee matchup. He's Scott Spreitzer, I'm Marco D'Angelo. It's like, this is we're looking at Dallas and Portland. Dallas is the defending world champs.
Sure.
And just before we went on the air, I asked you, because I can't remember off the top of my head, when was the last time a defending world champion in the NBA didn't make the playoffs the next year? Dallas is in right now. They're sitting in the 7th seed, but they're only one game ahead in the win column over Phoenix, who's in the 9th seed right now. They're in jeopardy of not making the playoffs.
Yeah, there's a 5-team battle right now for the final couple of spots. In fact, between 6th and 10th, you've got teams that are within a couple of games of each other. In fact, you mentioned they're only a game up for the 8th spot over the 9th place team. They're only a game and a half over the 10th place team as of Tuesday afternoon as we cut this video. So, they've got to play Golden State on Thursday night before playing Portland, which is going to make things interesting for Dallas. Portland, for the way this season has been put together, the schedule, and teams having their schedules crammed together because of the condensed season, Portland's had it pretty nice. I mean, since Saturday, going into this game, they're going to play one night off the next night. They're going to be alternating games on and games off, and of course that gives them the rest advantage against Dallas. And if they have LaMarcus Aldridge healthy on Friday night, then it changes things a little bit also. But I'm just watching this Dallas team, and I'm looking at the first half of the season or so. They're 6-2, playing in the second of back-to-back nights against the spread. Over the last 11, they're 4-7 against the spread in the second of back-to-back nights. But the interesting thing, Marco, is that when they played in these back-to-back nights, second of back-to-back nights, they've beaten on teams like Orlando, Houston, New York, Utah. The second of back-to-back nights against premier teams or games that they really need to get up for, they've won. The second of back-to-back games where they've lost, at Golden State by 24. Against Sacramento, they lose by 14. So it really depends on if they're up for this game. I would think they better be, since who knows where they're going to be by the time this game tips off. But they're in a dogfight to make the postseason, as you just mentioned.
You mentioned about the back-to-backs in Portland. Definitely the schedule maker's been kind to them. Schedule maker's not been kind to Dallas. And Dallas will be playing on Friday night their third game in 4 nights, and it's 3 different cities. They didn't have like back-to-back at home and then go on the road.
Right.
They've been in a different city all 3 nights. And to make matters worse for them, having the listeners look further out, they're in the middle of 3 in the last 4, but in this stretch they're also going to play 6 in 8 days. This is going to make or break Dallas's playoff run.
Sure.
They could come out of this 8-day, 6-game stretch. They could be sitting in the 9th spot when this is done, on the outside looking in, which would be amazing for the world champs not to make it when the NBA, almost everybody makes the playoffs. Portland, this has been a disappointing season, but I mean, you got to look. They've had injuries, galore on this team, and that's sabotaged, their season. But what better shot to, I'm a type of guy that I like to look at an angle late in the season when you're in those final couple weeks, when you've got a team that's underachieved. You always got to worry about, are they packing it in, just mailing the rest of the season in? That's a valid point. But when you've got a chance to play spoiler, and you're playing spoiler to the defending world champs, you're going to get up. And I think Portland, plus this game's on TV, unless, I was looking at the schedule. It's scheduled in the Nevada schedule as being on ESPN. I don't think ESPN's as happy that they got this matchup now when they scheduled this one. But you're at home, defending world champs. If you could put one of the nails in their coffin, they're going to come to play. But that doesn't mean just because you won it, you can get it done. Dallas also, as we're taping on Tuesday, big story came out of Dallas on Monday. Lamar Odom, bye-bye. I think in the long run, it's going to be a better move for Dallas because the way he was playing and all the drama,
addition by subtraction at this point.
Go back and visit the Kardashians, whatever. It'll make it for a good show when he shows up, with his bags from Dallas. But you think that is going to be a benefit for the Mavericks?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't like a total jerk in the locker room, but he wasn't also a guy that was helping this team come together whatsoever in the locker room. And when the trade was first made, you thought this is a nice deal for the Dallas Mavericks, but he's just been. I'm just going to come out and say it. He's been a dick. That's the bottom line. Since he became a Dallas Maverick, hide this video from the kids. But the bottom line is, I can't think of a better way to describe Lamar Odom. And I'm not a trash mouth kind of guy. I'm a smash mouth handicapper, as they call it. But that's the best way I can describe it. And, when you started the season, you had Dirk Nowitzki, who they said wasn't really in playing shape. Remember, he was
they gave him
the
like
team for a while.
They gave him like 8 games off
to get back into shape. I mean, what the hell did this guy do? Go over to Germany and treat every day like it was Oktoberfest?
If RJ did that to me, I wouldn't be on a video all year.
But, they got, these teams just met a few days ago, April 6th, and Portland won the game in overtime, 99-97. And Felton and Aldridge combined for 55 points. They were combined 23 for 42, 19 rebounds between the two of them. They beat up the Mavericks on the glass. And that's, the thing about Dallas this year hasn't been a defensive problem. They're top 10 in most important defensive categories in the NBA, but they've been poor on the offensive end. They're bottom third in all the important key categories on the offensive end, and they're not a good rebounding team. And they give up they allow way too many rebounds to be had. And that's where Portland got them. They had a 14-9 offensive rebound advantage. And when you look at the way Felton and Aldridge played together and the fact that they had the big rebounding advantage, go to overtime, you're going to win the game. And that's what they happened to do. So, they're not completely out of it yet, Portland, but I want to see the mindset of this team on a Wednesday night when they play. They're off on Thursday because when they lost that last game, you could see the air kind of leave the building, so to speak, with this basketball team also. And now, as we talk about this late Tuesday afternoon for Wednesday, LaMarcus Aldridge is questionable for that game. So, maybe he plays on Wednesday night and he's not quite the healthiest he should be on Friday. I just look at what Dallas has done, and in step-up games, again, on those second and back-to-back nights, and I respect this is going to be a bunch of games in 7 or 8 days, but again, they beat Orlando, Houston, New York, and Utah, and their losses have come in situations against bad basketball teams. Now, Portland's not a bad basketball team, but this is almost like playing Orlando, Houston, New York, and Utah because Dallas has to have the win. So for me, it's going to be a play when the lines come out on either Dallas or nothing at all. I just won't back Portland here. I think the line adjustment for all the games being played right now and for the fact that Dallas has struggled and the news coming out of there has been negative for most of the last couple of weeks, that the line is going to be juicy enough to probably jump on Dallas on this one. Definitely not going to back Portland here.
Well, we're projecting the line to be Portland -2. And to be honest, when we break it down at home, this is basically a pick-em game, but I'm shading the couple points there because of the negative scheduling situation for Dallas and the Odom situation. And we got to see. We may find, next week we might be talking, if Dallas rolls off 3 or 4 in a row, what a great move it was cutting the cord in, taking out the trash, so to speak, or as you said, cutting the dick off.
Wow. I didn't say that.
But it's, you bring out the worst. But this is,
the geldings, not the Mavericks.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Oh, man, we're going right in the trash with this one. This is a toss-up game for me. I don't have an opinion. I think Portland, if they're going to show up to play, I think you're definitely going to get Portland's best effort on Friday. But again, I don't know if that's enough with everything that's on the line for Dallas. A quick revenge game for Dallas as well, like you pointed out.
And I'll mention a quick update if you want to know if I'm going to be on this game or not, because we are talking about this on the video. Go to the forums late Thursday night, early Friday morning, let's say by 5 a.m. Eastern time Friday morning, and I'll post on the forums whether or not I'm going to be on Dallas or not. I can tell you right now I won't be on Portland. I may be on Dallas. I'll let everybody know, and if it is, then it's a free play at 5 a.m. Eastern time, 2 a.m. Pacific, right around there on the forums, on the NBA forums, on whether or not I'm on Dallas.
I can tell you this guy is on the forums at that time of night. He is the only other idiot in Las Vegas next to me that's up at that time. We exchange emails in the middle of the night. It's like, when you send an email in the middle of the night, you expect a response in the morning, not 30 seconds later.
Well, when Johnny Detroit sends me emails at 6 a.m. Eastern time where he's at, and I answer him back 5 minutes later, and he goes, "What the hell are you doing up at 6 a.m.? I'm like, hey, got to get the latest information on the teams, man."
That's it. Hey, he's Scott Spreitzer. I'm Marco D'Angelo. You got a mild vote for Dallas. Check on Friday for an update on Scott's opinion there, if he makes it stronger based on what happens Wednesday and Thursday games. I'm Marco D'Angelo. Thanks for watching. You can check out all of the action. Scott's going to be back next week. He's pulling double duty this week. He's going to be in the studios on Thursday with Vegas Runner. They're going to look at the weekend action, so check that out at pregame.tv, and that's where you'll find all of the action all week long. Hear from all of our cappers. Thanks for watching. Talk to you Thursday.